You don't have a healthy relationship with money. And here's how to know that you don't have a healthy relationship with money. Deep down, you can probably feel it. And you're probably avoiding it, is usually how it shows up first. Not having a healthy relationship with money shows up as stress, fear, anxiety, worry, avoidance, numbing, all the signs and symptoms of what you would think would be someone who is not healthy emotionally show up in the same way as not having a healthy relationship with money. Here are some ways that you can tell you don't have a healthy relationship with money. 1, you avoid your money at all costs. You don't look at it, you don't track it, you don't want to know, you don't look at your net worth. You're not in touch with what's really happening financially. 2 is the shame and the guilt that goes with the decisions that you're making financially. If you don't have a healthy relationship with money and you're spending your money and then almost immediately you have a feeling or a gut wrench in your stomach about that decision, whatever the decision is, to go on vacation, to buy toothpaste, whatever that is, you don't have a healthy relationship with money. Not having a healthy relationship with money does not necessarily mean that you have debt. There's a lot of people that universally qualify debt as not having a healthy relationship with money, and I do not believe that that's the case. So we're going to take the fact that you have debt off the table as not having a healthy relationship with money. If you're in debt and you're really stressed out about it and you can't figure out how to get out of debt, and you're not being intentional with why you went into debt in the first place, you might have an unhealthy relationship with money. People go into debt for all kinds of things. Houses, real estate investments, college tuition. There's lots of reasons to take on debt that could be healthy reasons to take on debt. So for you, that's not a universal qualifier that you have an unhealthy relationship with money, but how you feel about it has everything to do with your relationship with money and whether or not it's healthy. Another thing that you're doing if you have an unhealthy relationship with money is you're not talking to other people about your money. You're not owning that conversation. You don't have a financial team around you. Maybe you're not filing taxes or you haven't filed taxes in a really long time. Avoidance is one of the number one ways that you can tell that you do not have a healthy relationship with money or someone else in your life does not have a healthy relationship with money. So what do you do about it? What do you do about having an unhealthy relationship with money? It's scary. Maybe you feel isolated, like you're alone, like there's no options, that you're a failure. These are all things that my clients come to me with. And for most of my clients, I would say 98% of the clients that I work with, it has nothing to do with the amount of money that is or isn't in their bank account. I work with very successful people. Some of them are running multi-million-dollar companies. They have successful financial lives on the outside looking in. Their relationship with money is toxic though. They're not happy. They're constantly questioning themselves. They're judging themselves. So here are some things that you can do if that sounds like you. The first thing is ditch the numbers. Stop obsessing over the numbers. Some of the people that I work with that have the most obsessive behaviors with their numbers are some of the most unhealthy financially. Just tracking money all day long, just looking at the numbers all day long is not going to get you closer to having the feeling that it is that you want, whatever that feeling is. When I have seminars and workshops and I ask people, what is it that you want to feel? How do you want to feel when it comes to money? They'll say that they want security, freedom, happiness, joy, abundance, whatever those feelings are. And some of my clients that have the most amount of money are the furthest away from feeling that way. Why is that? A toxic relationship with money stems from a conversation of not enough or a fear that it can all be taken away. That could stem from childhood. That could stem from an experience or belief that came up after childhood. Some clients who went through bankruptcy don't want to go through bankruptcy again. And so one of the best ways to start working on that relationship is to find somebody to talk to about your feelings. One of the reasons that I got all of my training certifications in neurolinguistic programming is that I am now trained to work with my clients in a way to help them heal their own relationship with money. Having a coach who knows how to help you, not a therapist. You don't always need a therapist if your life is working and everything's going well, but having a coach who is trained to ask you the right questions. Great coaches don't have all the answers. Great coaches have great questions. I'm going to say that again. Great coaches and advisors for you do not have all the answers. Those are people who are experts, who for themselves may have all the answers, but for you, the only person that has all the answers is you. A great coach is going to pull out of you, from you, by asking great questions to help you get to the bottom of what's really going on so that you can break through it and you can get to the other side of it. Here's how financial beliefs are formed. It's actually really cool what I learned and now how I'm helping my clients. And I had to go through this work myself first in order to break through my own limiting beliefs, and I'm doing that all the time. Beliefs are formed like this. Imagine that something happens in your life, and beliefs can be formed before the age of 7, and they can be formed throughout the course of your life. Something happens in your life. Maybe you get fired from a job, or someone dumps you, someone breaks up with you, or someone that you love dies. There's all kinds of life experiences that happen to us, and from those experiences, our system might create a belief. I was thinking about this driving the other day. I was like, man, this belief of being inferior kept popping up over and over again. And I was watching myself. I've learned and trained myself how to look back and look at different experiences in my life and start questioning where different beliefs came from. I have coaches that do this work with me, for me also, but I can do it myself. And I was driving home the other day and I was like, where did that come from? Where did that belief of being inferior, that's my belief, and this is like the barrier around it, the shell around it, of feeling inferior that I've been carrying around with me for a really long time. Where that came from for me is that my sister used to bully me. She's my older sister. I love her to death. We have a good relationship, a great healthy relationship today, but she used to do some really mean things to me. And that made me feel inferior. And I've been carrying that around with me for a really long time. Why am I telling you this story, this long story? Is that we all have these different beliefs inside of us that are formed from different experiences that we have, and everybody has these different experiences. By carrying around that belief that I'm inferior, I was making choices around people with my life that weren't serving me at the highest level. So what do I do about that? Well, there are ways for you to be able to reframe those beliefs so you can challenge the barrier of the belief. If you have great coaches around you, they'll do this with you too. Challenge the belief, reframe work it. I was able to look back on that experience and tell myself, no, I'm strong. I'm not inferior. I endured that. Not only did I endure that, but I chose to love my sister despite that. I'm strong, I'm loud, I was screaming at the top of my lungs even as a little kid. I learned how to fight for myself. And those are all great qualities to have. So even though that belief was there, I was able to bust through it and create a new meaning about it. And it doesn't hold the power over me that it used to. Unworthy. What are other beliefs that people have that you might have? That you're unworthy, you're not capable. One of my best friends has this belief that comes up all the time that she's stupid. If those are beliefs that you truly have about yourself, how are you going to behave financially? Me feeling unworthy for a really long time, your beliefs, this is something I teach in my world, your beliefs plus behaviors equal your bank account. And what I believed about myself for a really long time, not feeling worthy, I made unworthy choices. I made unworthy choices in men. I made unworthy choices with money. And I was trying to fill a void in my life financially that was not ever going to be fixed with money. Maybe you can relate to that. By identifying and telling the truth and acknowledging the fact that you have an unhealthy relationship with money, that's the first step for you to be able to understand and work with your beliefs that might be influencing that or that are influencing that so that you can shift it, you can heal it, and you can move in a new direction. Like I said, your relationship with money has nothing to do with the numbers. So the last place that you want to start is with the numbers, thinking that that's going to heal something or fix something for you. This is why I don't teach budgets. Because if you're going to heal your relationship with money, you have to take a deeper dive into yourself, bust through limiting beliefs, that's one of them, and have the courage to start living a life that is purposeful for you. That's the second thing. We get off track financially because we make up all these stories about what the money means in the first place. So if you have $10 in your bank account, you're making up a story about what that actually means in your life. If you have only $10 in your bank account today, maybe you're watching this, what's the story that you're telling yourself? I'm stupid, I'm a failure, I'm never going to be good at this, I suck, right? Whatever that is. And the emotional roller coaster happens in so many people's lives because you've got $10 one day and you feel all these feelings. And then the next day you have $1,000 in your bank account and you feel fine, you feel safe. That has nothing to do with a number because your life is your life the way it is today, regardless of what your numbers are in your bank account. Now, you might challenge me on that because maybe you don't have money that you need for your basic needs. That also stems from an unhealthy relationship with your life, with where you're at in your life, the decisions you're making financially, but it almost always has nothing to do with the actual number in your bank account or not in your bank account. If you don't have a healthy relationship with money, one of the first places that you can start in my world today is taking the money personality quiz. This is a great insight for you to understand why you make the decisions that you make, and maybe they'll make you feel less wrong about why you're making the decisions that you're making too. Maybe you're not the money personality that you thought that you were. That'll give you permission to play to your strengths versus judging yourself or making yourself wrong for your weaknesses. I hope that this video was valuable for you today. Subscribe to my channel, keep following me. I'm going to keep putting out content that I think is important for you to know to have a healthy relationship with money, and I'll see you next time.